most successful is getting stronger alteration. And so we know that something's going on there, as something exciting, something quite proximal. So now we've moved kind of into the heart of the gravity anomaly that we're testing in that area.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Forum Energy Metals CEO Rebecca Hunter. Rebecca, very good to speak with you again. Your team started drilling at the Loki and Bjorn grids at the Aberdeen project, which you've described as high priority targets. What specifically makes these areas stand out compared to other targets you're planning to test?
Good morning, Stephen. Yeah, so one of the big things is that there's kind of a neat story actually with Loki. So the first time Loki was drilled, so there's been 3 holes into Loki. The first time Loki was drilled, we basically were testing kind of a new area and we hit sandstone. And so it's about 5 kilometers south of actually where the Thelon sandstone kind of contact is. And so that was very interesting. So now not only is there, kind of that basement target, but there's sandstone there too. And then basically last year was the last hole of the season. The weather was kicking us out. We didn't have much time. So basically we were staging the drill from where it was before near Loki. So we're like, okay, let's do one target into Loki. And so we tested the target better. And what was super exciting was that all of a sudden, not only did we hit some interesting rock like we did back in 2011, but we hit really strong clay alteration, which is a very important alteration type for unconformity type deposits, and extremely elevated uranium in the sandstone. And so typically the sandstone is under kind of 1 parts per million uranium. And this drill hole had 30 times that in the sandstone column. So very prospective. All of a sudden, it just changed the game for Loki. Not only do you have sandstone there, which kind of makes it more of a classic unconformity target in general, it has that really elevated sand and strong clay that is really one of the first times in the Thelon Basin that sort of alteration has been seen in the Thelon sandstone.
You mentioned in the release that Loki has all the exploration building blocks for discovery. What would a successful drill season look like to you, and how soon might investors see results?
The most successful is getting stronger alteration. And so we know that something's going on there, as something exciting, something quite proximal. So now we've moved kind of into the heart of the gravity anomaly that we're testing in that area. And so success would be basically more uranium. So intersecting actual mineralization, potentially at the unconformity or in the sand, or down in some sort of fault structure below the Thelon sandstone.
And initial results, when would you expect those?
So hopefully, we started drilling basically yesterday at Loki. And so again, it takes usually 3 to 5 days to complete a hole, depending on how deep we go. So yeah, we'll see what sort of results happen in that first drill hole. We'll do about 2 or 3 holes at Loki, depending on results, and then we'll be moving the drill over to Bjorn.
The combination with baseload energy and the creation of Geiger energy marks a big shift. How do you see this merger accelerating exploration success and creating value for your shareholders?
Results. So, we have money. Thanks to baseload, we have access to capital, so we can actually do this program. I think that's the real big thing that we're able to accomplish this summer is now that we're merging up with baseload, we have the capital to do a decent drill program this summer, hopefully around 7,000 meters, depending on results, depending on weather and all that. But we'll be able to target at least, depending again on results, maybe up to 10 really high priority targets this summer.
Well, Rebecca, I hope you'll keep us updated on progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thanks a lot, Stephen.
Rebecca Hunter is the CEO of Forum Energy Metals.